The Arizona Wildcats beat the USC Trojans. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 87 to the USC Trojans 57. The Arizona Wildcats had a home advantage, so they were playing at home. So that was one thing in the Arizona Wildcats' favor. Another thing that was in the Arizona Wildcats' favor tonight was that, well, something to mention is that Jason Terry had his jersey retired, and the Arizona Wildcats, he got mentioned in the Arizona Wildcats in McKale, so he's going to have his jersey's going to be put up in McKale, so that'll be pretty cool. That doesn't mean that his number is going to be retired, but that just means that because Tucson is playing there's number 31, or not Tucson Ristic, but Matt Korchak is also 31, just like Jason Terry was, and so but Matt Korchak is still playing, of course. Matt Korchak played about 5 minutes tonight. He knocked down a couple of free throws, and he missed his shots from the inside. He was playing aggressive, though. He drew a foul, drew a foul on him, so that was good, and that's why he was able to get a couple of points. Big guy. Anyway, the Arizona Wildcats. The Arizona Wildcats had 6 guys in double figures, and Caleb Tarczewski, the 7-foot tall guy from the Arizona Wildcats, he had 15 points. He was the highest scorer of the Arizona Wildcats tonight. He ended up with 9 rebounds tonight, so he did fantastic. It's the most rebounds that I've seen Caleb Tarczewski have ever, I think. And 5 of those 9 offensive, 5 of those total rebounds were offensive. And I think that offensive rebounds are so valuable, so important to the morale of a team. They make, they build confidence, and that's something that Caleb Tarczewski was lacking quite a bit in previous games was confidence, and he came out with guns blazing tonight. He had 4 defensive rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds, so he did fantastic. And another big man also made a contribution, a great contribution for the rebounds, was Brendan Ashley. He had 7 total rebounds. 4 of them were offensive and 3 of them were defensive. Another one that usually get a little bit of contributions from is Stanley Johnson, the freshman phenom for the Arizona Wildcats. He ended up with 7 total rebounds. He had 1 offensive rebound and 6 defensive rebounds. I can understand a little bit more of a freshman not being able to get so many offensive rebounds. But Tucson Ristic, he's a freshman, and he got a couple offensive rebounds, so he made some nice contributions tonight. 3 offensive rebounds from Elliot Pitts, 2 offensive rebounds from Matt Korchak. Like I said, he was an animal. He just, he only played 5 minutes in that game, but he didn't back down at all, and he was right there in the key, and that's why he ended up with 2 offensive rebounds. He didn't have any defensive rebounds, but he had 2 offensive rebounds. So that was something. So did Elliot Pitts. He only had 3 total rebounds. All 3 of them were offensive. One thing that I think that Sean Miller, the coach for the Arizona Wildcats, might want to check out a little bit is 15 turnovers for the Arizona Wildcats. And the tough thing, I remember whenever the Arizona Wildcats lost against UNLV, Stanley Johnson had 7 turnovers in that game, and that's a big no-no. And in this game, Stanley Johnson had 6 turnovers. So that's kind of that's kind of what happens whenever whenever you're trying to make some fantastic plays. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I told you this, but he had 6 total assists, which is just amazing. That's fantastic. But he had 6 turnovers, so a lot of those assists can be negated because he had so many turnovers. If you look at the points on turnovers for the USC as compared to Arizona, USC had 15 points off turnovers. So that would be 7 turnovers would make up for your 15 points off turnovers. The Arizona Wildcats had 25 points off turnovers. So the USC Trojans had 16 turnovers tonight, and the Arizona Wildcats were able to capitalize on that and knock 25 points off those turnovers. So as far as second chance points, there was, like I said, Matt Korchak just was a beast on the boards, and so was Caleb Tarczewski, and so was Brendan Ashley, by the amount of rebounds that each of them got. Offensive rebounds that each of them got. Kind of surprising that Elliot Pitts got 3 offensive rebounds. So he must have played really with a lot of athleticism and really knew what he was doing out there. So anyway, we had second chance points. We had 22nd. The Arizona Wildcats had 22nd chance points, while the USC Trojans had 14 second chance points. Fast break points. Usually, whenever you steal the ball, then you get a fast break point. The Arizona Wildcats had seven steals, as compared to the USC Trojans, which had 4. So we had 14. So the Arizona Wildcats had 14 points off of 14 fast break points, and the USC Trojans had 8 points off fast break points. So we were able to. So the Arizona Wildcats were, once they stole the ball, they were able to take care of business and did quite well. We shot 7 for the Arizona Wildcats. Shot 7 for 19 from 3-point land, which is about 36%. Jason Terry, an old U of A, an old University of Arizona player, he is called the Jet. He likes to make 3-pointers, and he does this jet action, this jet movement. He looks like a jet, like a plane, after it's done making a 3-pointer. So he just kind of soars on soars throughout the basketball court, looking like, it kind of looks a little bit like a jet with his arms out to the sides. But a lot of Arizona Wildcats, after they made three-pointers, were trying to pay tribute to Jason Terry by doing that jet movement. I first noticed that T.J. McConnell was doing that jet movement. He had 1 for 2 from three-point land. Hollis-Jefferson made 1 for 1 from three-point land. Stanley Johnson knocked down a three-pointer also from three-point land. He took 4 attempts. Elliot Pitts had 1 for 2. Even the 7-footer Tucson Ristic knocked down a three-pointer, which was quite surprising. But like I said, I think it was Dave Pash, I think that's his name. He was saying that the sportscaster, along with Bill Walton, Dave Pash was saying that Tucson Ristic for the Arizona Wildcats is 4 for 5 from three-point land. And the reason I think that Bill Walton was saying is the reason why they should do more plays where they have Tucson Ristic as doing that three-point attempt is because no one expects him to make those three-point attempts because he's 7 feet tall, and you don't think that he can make those outside shots beyond the arc, but he did. He has, shot 4 for 5, so he's made 80% of his three-pointers. But Tucson Ristic needs to definitely work on his free throws because, I don't know, maybe he was just having a bad night. I don't know what it was, but he was 0 for 2 from behind the arch. So he didn't knock down any of his free throws, and that made the difference in between the Arizona Wildcats. The Arizona Wildcats shot 69% from free throw land tonight, making 18 out of 26, while the USC Trojans shot 64%, making 16 out of 25. I wanted to see. One thing I wanted to bring about was the 19 assists that the Arizona Wildcats had. And I know that we had a whole lot of assists. We had 7 assists from T.J. McConnell, which is his average. To me, 6 or 7 assists I think is more than acceptable for T.J. McConnell. That's average, I think. Acceptable, definitely, for T.J. McConnell. And then Stanley Johnson with 6 assists. That's unbelievable. And then the guard, Stanley Johnson, with 6 assists. And then Jackson-Cartwright, the backup point guard, the little tiny guy that had the concussion that just got cleared to play. He had 2 assists. So that was pretty cool. And you were getting 1 assist from, different players like Brendan Ashley and Caleb Darzewski and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson and Gabe York made got an assist. He assisted somebody to make it. But I wish the assists were passed around a little bit more, than 7 and 6 and 2 for the point guards, and Stanley Johnson was 6. But I don't know. They're getting. I just hope they're getting better. And Jackson-Cartwright, it's really nice to see him starting to step into those 2 shoes, and I think he has a good role model as far as T.J. McConnell. Jackson-Cartwright has a pretty good role model, and if he can step into the shoes of T.J. McConnell with being a very good assist man, very good passer, then he will do just fine. T.J. McConnell had 10 points tonight. Jackson-Cartwright had 11 points tonight. Stanley Johnson had 13 points. Hollis-Jefferson had 12 points. Brendan Ashley had 11 points. Let's see, as far as the blocks, 5 blocks. 2 of those blocks were from Matt Korchak, a beast for the Arizona Wildcats, a beast down in the box. He did fantastic, getting 2 of those 5 blocks. And as far as steals, we had Stanley Johnson with 3 steals. So he did. He made some nice contributions. You know, he is kind of his 6 assists kind of washed out because of his 6 turnovers. But then if you get 3 steals on top of that, then then that's more of an opportunity. Points off steals, like I said, it was 14. So that's 6 points that he brought about, or maybe it was maybe it was 9. It just depends on if those are 3-point attempts that were made. The Arizona Wildcats had 30 points, and they made 30 points in the paint, while the USC Trojans only had 18 points in the paint. So the Arizona Wildcats were able to somewhat dominate right in the beginning, definitely, in the paint. And if you look at the amount of total rebounds for the Arizona Wildcats had 50 total rebounds, 22 offensive and 28 defensive, which is really good because if you can get those 2 close together as far as offensive and defensive and still have more rebounds than the opposing team, then I think you're doing pretty good. The USC Trojans had 34 total rebounds. 15 of them were offensive, 19 of them were defensive. I think that's about it. The last time I saw I think the Arizona Wildcats now have a record of 23 wins and 3 losses, and they're going to play UCLA GameDay, which is on Saturday, against UCLA. UCLA is not supposed to be that great, but they are very good at home. But the Arizona Wildcats are going to play UCLA here. The UCLA Bruins here at McKale in Tucson, Arizona, and so it doesn't look so good for the USC Bruins. So anyway, I think we did a pretty good job. I think the Arizona Wildcats did a pretty good job of shutting everybody down for the USC Trojans. I don't really see anybody going off on three-pointers. We had Elijah Stewart from the USC Trojans, which knocked down a couple three-pointers. He made 2 for 5. One guy, Catton Reinhardt, took 4 free throw attempts and didn't make any of them. So the big players, Julian Jacobs ended up with 13 points tonight. They were pretty much able to shut him down pretty good tonight. He shot for 3 for 8 from field goal land. Mikola Jovanovic had 11 points. I don't think that he is too. I don't. I think him and Caleb Tarczewski from the Arizona Wildcats are both from the same area, kind of, in Europe. They're both European. They're both from Europe. So I think there was a little bit of competition there, and maybe that's why Caleb Tarczewski did so well tonight, getting 5 offensive rebounds and 4 defensive rebounds. Jovanovic had 4 offensive rebounds and 3 defensive rebounds. So Caleb Tarczewski was able to get one up on him with 5 offensive rebounds and 4 defensive rebounds. So that was pretty good. Malik Martin from the USC Trojans was the highest scorer with 15 points tonight. 1 for 3 from 3-point land. So it's usually Stanley Johnson is the one that's covering your highest scorers. Malik Martin was the highest scorer tonight with and he had 15. So usually actually Hollis-Jefferson defends against Malik Martin, or their best scorer. Although Julian Jacobs from the USC Trojans had 13 points tonight, so he also might have been somebody that Hollis-Jefferson was defending against, or maybe Stanley Johnson. So what I'm trying to get at is that Stanley Johnson he did a pretty good job of defending, and I'm pretty happy about that. He didn't allow a lot of points from any specific player. I didn't allow any specific players to get a hot hand really bad. Anyway, the Arizona Wildcats win this game against the USC Trojans. The final score: Arizona Wildcats 87 to the USC Trojans 57.